Imagine this. You pray every single day with passion. You ask for peace, prosperity, real change in your life. But nothing happens. Your routine stays the same. Tight finances, anxiety in your chest, stagnant relationships. And this isn't just frustrating, it's exhausting. Then, a quiet cycle begins. Is God ignoring me? Does this just not work for me? What am I doing wrong? You start to doubt your faith, question heaven, and little by little, something inside you begins to fade. Today, I'm going straight to the point. No fluff. The problem is almost never a lack of prayer. It's something much deeper, an internal contradiction that blocks everything. Stay with me until the end, because what you're about to understand can completely redefine both your spiritual life and your everyday reality. The mistake no one teaches you. There's a spiritual mistake almost no one talks about, but it destroys results. You learn how to pray, but you never learn how to align your life with what you're asking for. Think of it this way. Prayer isn't an automatic machine. It's not, I ask, God delivers. It's a partnership. Scripture says, faith without works is dead. That's not symbolic. It's operational. It's how life actually works. In other words, there is no manifestation without alignment. And here's something important. If this kind of message is opening your mind, make sure to subscribe now, because what you're learning here isn't common. It's practical transformation. Real-life patterns that repeat every day. Someone prays for financial breakthrough, but spends impulsively, prays for healthy relationships, but settles for emotional crumbs, prays for direction, but avoids hard decisions. The result? Doubt, burnout, distance. The mistake isn't praying, it's outsourcing responsibility. The internal conflict. Now here's the part most people don't have the courage to face. When you pray for something, but live the opposite, you create internal conflict. Napoleon Hill taught that the subconscious doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to what you repeatedly practice with emotion. So look at the pattern. You pray for peace, but feed anxiety all day. You pray for prosperity, but avoid organization. You pray for change, but repeat old habits that creates inner division. And a divided mind builds nothing solid. If this is already resonating with you, turn on notifications, because what comes next goes even deeper into the kind of awareness most people ignore. What really blocks you? Pay attention to this. God isn't blocking you. Most of the time, the blockage is within you. Florence Scovel Shinn said, "You don't receive what you ask for. You receive what you accept as true." Now be honest with yourself. You ask for prosperity, but feel uncomfortable with growth. You ask for a different life, but avoid leaving your comfort zone. That's fear of success. And it doesn't feel like fear. It feels like justification. Napoleon Hill also emphasized that many people fail because deep down, they're not prepared to sustain what they're asking for. The spiritual illusion. There's a dangerous trap, believing that intensity in prayer can replace transformation in action. It can't. Rick Warren teaches that purpose isn't something you just discover. It's something you build daily. Real spirituality shows up in the details. In discipline, when no one is watching, in choosing what's right when it's hard. In consistency, not emotion. Scripture teaches, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. In other words, you don't live what you ask for. You live what you consistently sustain. If this message is challenging you in a positive way, share it with someone who needs to break out of this invisible cycle. Sometimes a single shift in awareness can change an entire life. The principle of alignment. Now here's the turning point. Alignment isn't perfection. It's consistency. It's when your prayers, your thoughts, your actions move together. Florence Scovel. Shin taught that when thought, word, and action come into harmony, life responds with precision. Here are the first real steps. Get clear on direction. Stop asking vaguely. Be specific. Build identity. You must become the person who can sustain what you're asking for. Take disciplined action. Faith isn't emotion. Faith is consistent repetition. And if you want to keep growing at this level, mentally and spiritually, subscribe, because this is just the beginning. The hard truth. Here's the truth that transforms, but also challenges you. What feels like God's delay is often internal misalignment. The Bible shows that before every promise, there is a process. It's not delay, it's preparation. Until you become compatible with what you're asking for, you won't be able to sustain what you receive. How change begins. Change doesn't start with more prayer. It starts with a decision. Rick Warren emphasizes that real transformation happens when you change your daily habits. So start here, adjust your thoughts, adjust your choices, adjust your habits, and then something powerful happens. Your prayer stops being a desperate request and becomes a confirmation of the path you're already walking. Maybe God isn't silent. Maybe He's waiting for you to step out of contradiction and into alignment, because when that shifts, everything shifts. Now comment, I am ready to sustain what I asked for. And don't forget, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, share this message, because tomorrow you'll begin with 3 simple actions that can completely change the direction of your life. Your prosperity begins with the decision you make today. And if this message resonated with you, don't miss the next video. It builds on the wisdom found in the Holy Bible.